Good evening, everyone. It's me, Drive Ghost, and something I've thought about a lot is that if I got the Omnitrix, what aliens would I want? What would my 10 be? And so I decided to do this video, where I go through all the aliens in the original series, including future aliens and the add-ons, and create my own playlist of 10 aliens. So let's jump right into it. So this is my list of aliens to choose from for this video, taken from the Ben 10 wiki. You can't really see, but Topic is at the very bottom there. My personal rules that I've set for myself mean I can't choose Waybig or Alien X because they'd be very obvious choices later on, but others are free game. I'm also allowed to choose the aliens that were mentioned in the future, but not revealed until Omniverse, like Atomics and Topic. Spoiler. I'm making the list under the assumption that I'm stuck with only my playlist 10 and can't unlock any more aliens until I move on to a new Omnitrix. So the 10 I choose are the 10 I have until I get a new one, basically. And the very first transformation that I have chosen for my Omnitrix is the guy whose pun I did not get until I was in middle school, and I'm not joking about that. Forums is an immediate first choice and a pretty easy one for anyone making a playlist like this. A physical powerhouse works well against a lot of Ben's enemies in Classic and in general, and while he can't do everything, having a transformation that's just really strong and a really good fighter, without being too much, is a very good choice. Plus, having a second set of arms is also very helpful in a lot of hand-to-hand combat scenarios, and Forums is one of the few classic transformations that can handle fighting Vilgax one-on-one. Because, he's the only one that's managed to do that without struggling a ton. Obviously, he can't solo him usually, but he can at least hold his own better than the other transformations. That is excluding my next choice, which is Atomics. Personally, one of my favorites in terms of personality and voice. Since I can't choose Waybig, and I'm not going to do an Omniverse playlist, Atomics is the best choice for an OP alien in Classic. Atomics is definitely above the power level of classic villains and stuff like that, and would likely just be a last resort when fighting opponents my other aliens can't handle. Essentially, Atomics would sort of be like the Alien X of my playlist. He would be the ace up my sleeve rather than a form I'd use regularly. I would also really enjoy using Atomics' voice in his named attacks. Ah, Fissile Whistle! Drive some fission cuisine, courtesy of Atomics! Hamina, nuclear winner! Next up is one of, if not my favorite alien in all of Ben 10, Ditto. So, not only am I choosing him because he's one of my favorites, as I said, his ability of duplication can be very, very useful if used correctly, even with the drawback of, they share pain and stuff. I'd more so use Ditto for convenience or messing around than as a combat alien, as in combat they're pretty difficult to use and pretty restricting unless you're, really clever with them, and it depends on the environment and stuff. So I'd use him more for convenience and goofing around than in a fight. I'd pretty much use Ditto's powers to do things like chores and shopping very quickly, and that would be my main use for him. He would be my go-to alien just for day-to-day stuff. At least from Classic. And next we have Buzzshock. Originally I was going to choose Upgrade, but I actually realized that Buzzshock, in some ways, was actually better than Upgrade. It has the ability to possess and control technology, regenerate, duplicate after taking damage, project and absorb electricity, and produce a sonic scream. So basically it can do half of what Upgrade can do, and then more on top of that. Buzzshock is all around very useful both practically and in combat, because, I can charge your phone or something. Buzzshock is an all-around versatile alien that can do a lot on its own and is pretty difficult to stop in a general fight unless you know how to, trap him in something non-conductive, which also depends on environment or, prep time and stuff, so generally it's going to be very tough for people to try and stop Buzzshock. And now for the alien. Spitter is another alien I'm choosing just because it's one of my favorites. Though Spitter does have practical abilities of its own, its bile is pretty powerful when shot out, and its conductive nature pairs well with Buzzshock, as was seen with Kenny. That'll be very useful if/when I get Master Control. I'd also love to train with Spitter and figure out what exactly he can do that wasn't shown in his appearances, because, he appeared very briefly in his few appearances. As gross as Spitter is, I think I just have a little bit of comfort knowing one of my favorite aliens is in the Omnitrix, and, he's probably gonna have some uses in combat. Oh baby, a triple, another one of my favorite aliens getting added. But in this case I'm adding Arctiguana not only because he's one of my favorites, but because he's actually a pretty strong alien. Choosing him not only gives me access to his ice powers and wall climbing, but his ice projection is very useful and pretty powerful. It's very fast acting, being able to freeze a decently large body of water very quickly. He also seems relatively bulky and useful in like a straight up head-to-head fisticuffs fight, combined with his ice abilities. And all around, he is a very cool alien. Alright, I'm gonna go kill myself. So I was going to kill myself, but then, using Grey Matter's intelligence, I realized that was a bad idea, which is why he's my next transformation. While Grey Matter is an alien not very useful in combat generally, I value Grey Matter's extreme intelligence and small size, making him very useful in a variety of situations, namely stealth and dealing with, enemy alien technology and stuff. He's also very useful just generally due to his intelligence, which can help in a lot of day-to-day situations, like I could finally get my GED with him. Close your mouth or you'll catch some flies. Some flies, because Wildvine is up next. That joke would have been a lot better if I didn't fucking flub it. Wildvine I chose for his plant-based abilities, which when paired with Buzzshock's tech-based abilities, gives me a great coverage for both technology and nature, or specifically plant life. Wildvine is very versatile as well with his explosive seeds, minor shapeshifting, digging abilities, and ability to merge with plant life. Overall, he was pretty underutilized in combat, but I think he has a lot more potential than what Ben used him for. So, maybe in my hands I could tap into some abilities and stuff that Ben didn't really use, because he kinda neglected Wildvine. And next up is
water. I need water.
Ripjaws may have a reputation of being very inconvenient when it comes to mistransformations, but he is a very useful alien for water-based combat, and in situations where water is available to stay hydrated, he's even useful out of water. His powerful jaws and claws allow for useful weapons in combat, even if he's out of water, so long as he stays hydrated, or has a breathing apparatus or something. I'm mostly choosing him for his swimming/underwater abilities, but he does have other applications despite his drawbacks, as I've mentioned. And my final pick for my 10 aliens is none other than Cannonbolt, the very first add-on alien. He is my third and final powerhouse transformation, boasting incredible durability that can survive re-entry in lava and stuff like that, and incredible damage potential. Cannonbolt is an incredibly difficult alien to fight head-on, as has been shown many times. And in terms of power output, would be my second strongest behind Atomics, but above Forearms, as shown with the tick, because obviously, Forearms couldn't damage it, but Cannonbolt was able to, he fucked that thing up, come on. Cannonbolt is also decently fast, ironically, making up for me not choosing Accelerate, as I did plan to do so before, as Cannonbolt is surprisingly quick and agile when he's rolling/bouncing around an area. So anyway, that's my 10 aliens. I will do a continuation of this for Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, but as I said before, I won't be doing Omniverse because they don't have as many aliens that I would like to choose. At least not many original aliens that I would personally like. I could have saved Atomics for that one, but I just decided I would rather not do Omniverse, just end with a 3-parter. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts below and what aliens you would choose for your playlist. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.